Belzoni had already removed its sarcophagus and recorded the pictures on the walls. But Belzoni could only guess at what it all meant.
There is nothing here.
No, wait. Hippolito, look. Here under the dirt. Over here, look.
What have you found?
This was the tomb of Seti I. The hieroglyphs showed he was named after the god Seth, the god of chaos and necessary violence. Seti was a fierce warrior king. His tomb is the largest, deepest, and most lavishly decorated in the Valley of the Kings.
Over here, there's more.
There is a cartouche here. Looks like Seti to me.
Yes, that's right. You're teaching them well, Professor Champollion.
As Champollion worked, slowly a picture began to emerge. But there were months of work ahead of him in the valley. And a big obstacle to deciphering the message of the hieroglyphs was Champollion's own steadily failing health. The hieroglyphs revealed that when the pharaoh died, his burial ceremony was conducted in great secrecy, with the location of the tomb concealed. Food was brought as a sacred offering to nourish the pharaoh's spirit. Inside the coffin, his body was bound with bandages in imitation of the great god Osiris. The mummy and the provisions for his final journey were carried to the tomb carved deep into the mountain. Then, as the sun died on the horizon, the pharaoh entered the underworld. It was the most elaborate burial imaginable, but it still didn't make sense. Why did ancient Egyptians bury so much wealth in the ground with their kings?
Professor Champollion? Food's ready.
Champollion! Help! Help! Professor Champollion! Help! Please, you must rest a moment. Please, you must rest.
I must get back to war.
Please, please, I beg you.
We are so close to understanding what the Egyptians believed. They want to give up. I know they do, but we can't give up now. I must explain to them.
You must rest.
No. There's so little time. Fetch the drawings. Please.
Champollion was by now very ill, but he was determined to explain to his small dedicated team the true meaning of all the work they had done.
Gentlemen, these pictures you have seen and drawn on every tomb, do you know what they represent? They are a journey into the afterlife. Alberta, you painted this. You know what it is?
No, not at all.
This is the setting sun, entering the underworld and being worshipped by the king, by the pharaoh. Next to it is a scarab beetle, the symbol of rebirth. That's what's important. That little detail, and you've got it better. Rebirth. Now look closer. The king illuminates all of Egypt. He is a god. He is a source of life for all his subjects. And in death, he is like the setting sun, descending towards the shadowy underworld through which he must travel if he is to rise again in the celestial world of Amun, the universal Father. Now, on the eastern walls of every tomb, we see the king during his life, battling with the 12 snakes, the 12 hours of the day. This is Tekka, the serpent with the blazing face. Then through the utter darkness of the underworld. And if he survives this, so do his people, for all eternity. Life is a preparation for death. And everything must be right. Every sacrifice, every prayer, every confession. These royal tombs are like tunnels into the afterlife. Gateways of the kings. This is not a valley of death, after all. It is a valley of